Good morning. Sorry, this is so choppy. I'm at the airport. It's like 6 a.m., so, bear with me. This is video number 13 in the Larry Millete case, which is happening in San Diego. So this is actually coverage of day 9 of this trial, which took place on Tuesday, June 2nd. So remember, no cameras in the courtroom. We're having to report the next morning when we hear back from everyone that is there. So yesterday was quite a ruckus. It was actually delayed until a 10 a.m. start. The jury didn't come in the room because there were some arguments that needed to be heard. And from what I understand, what's being reported is that Judge Enrique Camarena, who is typically a very mellow man, raised his voice after a heated 45-minute exchange between the attorneys. What's happening is that the defense continues to push this narrative that Jamie Laird, who's Maya's affair partner, wasn't properly investigated. And they're not allowed to do a third-party culpability defense that has already been ruled on by this judge. He says they cannot name a third party. So they're dancing right up to the line, right? They just keep asking questions about it to try and convince the jury that it was Jamie. The judge keeps going, no, 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 no. You need to defend Larry, not try to prosecute somebody else. So it's during this exchange and this that the defense gets angry because they said during this exchange that the prosecution is sort of laughing. I think it's more of like scoffing, like, scoffing. And then Judge Camarano says to Leanne Sabatini, who is the defense attorney, he's like, well, what about the eyes you're giving me and the hand gestures you're giving? Like, you're just as bad. So he's yelling at both attorneys for their behavior. Once the trial resumes, we get investigator Jesse Vincente back up on the stand. He was there yesterday. He's back now. The defense is cross-examining him. And one of the main points they're trying to make is that all of this footage, all of these cameras, everything that you have from all the neighbors, it's all at the front of the house. There are no cameras that show the backyards, the back fences. So the defense is asking questions like, is it possible that someone else came into the house through a back door? Is it possible that Maya left through a back door and climbed over the fence to basically flee her life and go start a new life someplace else? So that's kind of what the defense is planting now, is that, yeah, you have all the surveillance camera, but nothing at the back of the house. Some of you have asked, like, why sometimes there can be a third-party culpability and why sometimes there's not. Gosh, I'm sorry. There's so many airport announcements. Hold on. Okay, so many announcements. I'm like, at this point, if you're going to Denver, get on the fucking plane so they can stop talking about it. Anyway, essentially what this judge ruled was that Jamie Laird, there could have been motive, right, because he was having an affair with her and it was causing marital strife for both of them. But there was also a means, right? Like, he could have had the means to make her disappear as well. But Judge Camarano ruled that there's no circumstantial or physical evidence. Like, there's just nothing connecting him to this crime other than the fact that he was having an affair with Maya. So just because you're an adulterer doesn't make you a murderer. And if there had been like video evidence of him coming and going from the house or him driving through the neighborhood, then maybe there might have been something. But there is absolutely no circumstantial or physical evidence, according to this judge, to allow that type of defense. Okay, so then while I was just reading some articles about this, I found two things that I thought were really interesting that I didn't really know before. And this is just reporting that one of the local news stations has on their website. So, it is said that the day that Maya disappeared, Larry said he was going to the beach, but it looks like he drove between 400 and 600 miles. The beach is 4 miles from their home, reportedly. So his cell phone was off. He was gone for almost 12 hours, and apparently the car did 400 to 600 miles. Now, we all know that black Lexus, we all know how well that computer system can be tapped into and figure out exactly GPS and stuff. So maybe there's some witnesses coming up later that will tell us about the exact locations or that GPS tracking system in the car. So we'll learn a little bit more about his adventure that day. And putting this one up for you to see, surveillance cameras also captured. Remember I told you that there was a neighbor's surveillance camera that said that the kids were playing in the backyard the night that Maya went missing. Well, there's also, 4 months after her disappearance, there's a surveillance camera that caught a fire in the backyard. So there was fire in the backyard, and when they went through the ashes, they found one of Maya's burnt credit cards. So again, I think the prosecution would say it's really hard for her to go on the run and start a new life if she has no credit cards. and the defense will try and say she didn't want to be found, so she was burning all of her possessions before she left. Who knows what this one's going to come up, but this is why this is a 3-month trial, because there's so many different nuances, and again, over 150 people on the witness list, so this could go a while. I'm getting ready to catch a flight. I will follow up with the trial later tonight and get back with you tomorrow.